What would have happened if Hillary Clinton won the 2008 Democratic primary instead of Barack Obama? This is going to be a general election prediction, so this is the map we're starting out with. Puts the Democrat, in this case Hillary Clinton, at a favorable position. 2008 was really a banner year for Democrats. They did incredibly well in the presidential race as well as the House and Senate races, quite a few there. And I think that Clinton wouldn't quite be as strong of a nominee as Obama was in 2008. So I think the electorate would look a little bit different, or not the electorate, the swing states would look a little bit different, which is why we're going to be going through. And you may notice these states are not the traditional swing states. It is important to note that the states have shifted in different directions since 2008. Some states that used to be safe Republican, like Georgia and Arizona, have since become more competitive in the 2020s, as well as most likely beyond. But this is the electorate map we'll be going with. Going to start out in the first state of Arizona. This one, if McCain, he is, in this case, the Republican nominee, I think he would be able to win his home state. Even in 2008, Obama wasn't able to win Arizona. It was McCain's home state, which makes sense. He ended up winning that state, so that's going to be the call there in Arizona. And then two states that are a bit interesting, both Iowa and Ohio used to be Democratic-leaning states or swing states, depending on the election you're checking. But I think the two would probably end up voting for Clinton as well. It might not be by quite the extensive margin, as Obama was able to win both of these in 2008, but I think Clinton would still be able to win them just slightly more narrowly. And then we can get to Wisconsin. In prior elections, Michigan and Pennsylvania used to be pretty solidly, reliably blue states. I mean, even in 2016, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania were called the blue wall. Trump was eventually able to topple that, and he was able to win his 2016 bid for the presidency by winning those states, as well as his 2024 bid. But prior, both Michigan and Pennsylvania were pretty reliably Democratic states. Wisconsin was the outlier as being somewhat of a swing state. And I think in the 2008 environment, Clinton would probably be able to win Wisconsin. And even in 2012, when Romney was running as a Republican nominee, Obama was able to win Wisconsin. And Romney even picked Paul Ryan as his vice presidential nominee running mate. And even with that star power, they couldn't win the state of Wisconsin. So I think in an environment like 2008, that was even better for Democrats in 2012, that the state would end up voting blue. And then we get to what I think will be the first flip prediction. We have the state of Indiana. Obama was really able to rally the vote in the Gary, Indiana area, in the area in the Chicago suburbs sort of area in the top left corner of the state. And I don't think Clinton would quite be able to do that by quite extensive of a margin, which is why I'm going to call that state for McCain, which is going to be the call there in Indiana. And then in prior elections, Virginia used to be regarded as a swing state. I think that Clinton would be able to win it fairly easily. This state in 2016, when Clinton won the Democratic primary, the campaign was definitely hoping to win Virginia. They did, and they celebrated. Ultimately, it was one of very few competitive races that the Clinton campaign won, but she did win it in 2016, and I think in 2008, even though the electorate was a little bit more Republican trending in Virginia at least, I think the state would fairly easily still end up in the Democratic Party's column. And then we have the second flip of the prediction. If Clinton were the Democratic nominee in 2008, we have the state of North Carolina. This one, Obama was able to win it in 2008, but I don't think Clinton would be able to rally the voters quite as well as Obama did in the area there in the South in North Carolina. And then Georgia, I meant for it to be generally is before the in recent elections, the state has become more Democratic friendly. 2008, it was pretty solidly, reliably in the Republican Party's column. I'll do it by likely margin. And then finally, we have the state of Florida, where Clinton, I think, probably would have won in the years since 2008. The state, well, it went for Obama in 2008 and 2012. The state has drifted further to the right and has not elected Democrat on the presidential level since 2012. So the state has drifted further to the right, but I think in 2008 the electorate looked a little bit different, and that the state would go to Clinton by a lean blue margin. So that's going to be 330 for the Democratic nominee, Hillary Clinton, to 208 for the Republican nominee, John McCain. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.